Ay, ay, ay.
Vanessa, get off my back. Vanessa, get off my back. She's for the streets. A lot of us are on this train to forgiveness, which I just can't understand. A lot of us are willing to forgive their past, which I just can't understand. You have to know when she's for the streets. And I've talked about this briefly in my Thailand video and maybe another video, but I was on Instagram scrolling. And I seen this woman that I know that was selling it. And I see her on this guy's lap and she's kissing the guy in the mouth on Instagram and he's like us. And when I seen her kissing this guy in the mouth on Instagram, a few things came to my mind. One, why would he do that? But most importantly, why would he let her take a picture of him kissing her, kissing her in the mouth? Listen, if I'm going to do anything foul, right? If I'm going to do anything that's going to degrade, disrespect, or devalue myself, I am not going to sit there and let a woman take a picture. And this was just yesterday, and I'm like, wow, wow. You know how many she's had? You know, a lot of men go to these foreign countries, right? And I'm gonna talk about two different kinds of men, right? One is the Navy guys, right? A lot of these guys that's in the military. Listen, I was in the military. I wasn't in the Navy, right? It wasn't my thing, right? A lot of these guys that's in the Navy go to Thailand, right? And these girls that's been with 2,000 dudes, turn them out, right? Of course, if she's been with 2,000 dudes, she's experienced. Of course, if she's been with 2,000 dudes, I expect her to be experienced. So these Navy guys go to Thailand looking for a good time, a relationship, dating, why, whatever they're looking for. I don't know. I don't know if why you'd be looking for any of that in Thailand, but that's another story. I digress. So these guys go to Thailand, right? And this woman that's been with 2,000 guys shows them a good time and blows their mind, right? Pops their cherry, right? They're like, oh man, wow. I need to hold on to this. And they start catching feelings. They start getting emotional. They start thinking about relationships because they took a trip to Thailand. This woman who's a professional with everything she does, because she does it for a living, blows their mind and they start getting attacked. And it's always the Navy. Thailand, y'all got to take this L. It's mostly the Navy guys. It's mostly the Navy guys. Okay, I'm back. I had to take care of some money business. But here's the thing, right? And I'm gonna have a confession for y'all, right? I'm gonna have a confession for y'all. Uh, I've been deep into this passport game for a long time, right? And if you know, you know, right? Um, there's a hotel in Costa Rica, right? And I can probably Google it. I don't know if it's there anymore, but there's a hotel in Costa Rica, right, where you used to go and it used to be full of women, right? I'm talking about full of women, right? Think about these casinos that's in Sasua, like that used to be it, right? In Costa Rica, right? I first started going on these adventures in South America. Because let's be honest, it's a lot quicker to get to South America from the States than it is to get to Africa, Europe, Asia, right? It's a lot cheaper to get to South America than it is to go to Africa, Asia, Europe. So I, like most of you out here, started in South America, right? And I've done Costa Rica, I've done Panama, right? I found myself in Sasua, right? And I'm going to be honest with y'all, right? And some stuff you should take to the grave, like some stories you should not repeat, right? But in my earlier days of passport blowing, traveling, I have had times where I was like, I can change her. Hmm. If I give her the money she was making a month, she won't have to do this anymore. Right. And I'm gonna be honest, some of this stuff I should take this to the grave. I should definitely take this to the grave. But I'm gonna tell it to y'all because I consider us to be family. Hmm. Man, she did all of this, she did all of that. She I need this for the rest of my life. Man, I can forget about her past. Hmm. I can let those things go. Hmm. Do I really care about how many guys she's been with? I personally have been in that situation where I had to ask myself, confessions, Catholics, confessions. I, as a senior passport bro, have been in those situations where I had to ask myself, can I make a relationship out of this woman? Can I make a relationship out of this woman? And at the end of the day, I said no, right? Because let's be honest, if she let me go inside of her with no latex on her, she probably let someone else go inside of her with no latex on her. And the list goes on. All of the things that women have done to us overseas, we have to think, right? As that song goes, you're not the only one, right? You're not the only one. So even though I said she's for the streets, I have a confession that I have at times in my younger days of traveling considered maybe I can change her. Maybe I can forget about her past. Maybe if I move her to the States or another country, no one really knows what she did for a living. We can lie, we can forge the truth. And some of y'all, I thought about it, some of y'all actually did it. And that hurts my heart. That hurts my heart. That. A lot of us, a lot of men, no matter what you look like, your complexion, are selling for the best that you think you can get. And that's a woman from the streets. You're on this long, dark train ride to nowhere. Because one thing's for certain, two things for sure. If a woman was making $1,500 a month, right? And you can't keep up at minimum that $1,500 she was making before she got with you, guess what she's going to do? She's going to go back to what was paying. I'm going to repeat that again. If a woman was making $1,500 a month and she decides to settle down with you and you think in your head that she's faithful, whatever the case may be, but I digress. And she's not making what she used to make, she's going to go back to what she was doing. No woman's going to be like, oh man, I was making $1,500, but he gives me $500 a month, but he has a great personality to match. So I'm definitely going to stay with him. That's not how it works. I just challenge you all to not go over here and get your head blown because I, for one, confession, have been overseas and got my head blown. That sounds crazy, don't it? And I'm going to tell you two places where I was, as a senior passport bro, thought about wifing them. And I'm gonna be honest. I was in Thailand, right? And one of my first times in Thailand. When I first got to Thailand, I was amazed. All you see was lights. You see walking the street, and all you see is lights. It's like Vegas. It's like lights and clubs and music and people outside, and you're like, wow, right? Then I went to Lucifer, right? If you know, you know. And like, man, they grabbing on you, pulling on you, touching on you. You're like, wow. And I met this young lady, right? And I still remember her face. And she was popular in Lucifer, right? Like, let's say I met her on Tuesday. I went there, got to the club early, in the back of Lucifer, if you know, you know. And you talk to her, da da da, whatever the case may be, y'all drinking, whatever, y'all having conversations, right? If you did not take her with you, she was going with someone else. I'm gonna be honest. If you did not take her with you, she was going with someone else. I'm just being honest. Like, if you won't, if you ain't lock it down and agree to what y'all was gonna do and the plan, she was not sitting over there drinking with you all night. You gonna look up and she gonna be over there with another dude, and 30 minutes later they're gonna be walking outside the club. That's how it was in Thailand. If you know, you know. Back in the day, Lucifer Cat, salute to you. If you know, you know. She was popular, right? I'm just gonna say that she was popular, and I understood why. Because one day, her and I went back to my place, and I didn't use I didn't use one, and she was going crazy, and I probably, you know, could have got her pregnant. I'll just say that she going crazy. I'm like, man, this girl's a a P star. Like, she's going crazy on me and doing all crazy stuff, and mouth is everywhere. I'm like, oh my god. Like, I'm like, man, and usually I didn't like to, you know, pay for the same thing twice, but I had to run it back again and same thing. Then I started thinking about, hmm, hmm. I started thinking about what a lot of y'all are doing, and that's, I like this. I can hold on to this. I can move her away from Thailand, and we can just forget about her past. But a lot of y'all are doing it. A lot of y'all are thinking this is Men in Black, where you just take one of these, forget about our past, and nobody knows. But in the back of your mind, you're going to know, and that's going to eat you up. And that's why I don't suggest settling down with women that are for the streets. But a lot of you have kahunas. A lot of you passport bros, especially those Navy guys, a lot of y'all are brave. For you to be kissing a woman in the mouth, for you to begin into a relationship with a woman, and to stay in the same country where she was doing the dirty in, is brave, guys. Listen, I'm not saying, well, I'm saying don't do it. Do what you please. If that's your forte, if that's what you're into, if you're forgiving, great. But if you're going to do these things, guys, don't be having the walk of shame in the DR holding hands, locking lips, French kissing. Don't be having the walk of shame in Thailand and Pattaya and 808. Don't do it. If I'm going to do it, we're leaving the country. We're going to some place where no one knows who she is. If she's from Pattaya, we're gonna be in Phuket. We're gonna be in Chiang Mai. We're gonna be in Bangkok. If she's from Bangkok, we're gonna be in a different city. If you're going to do it, don't do it and be walking around with. Don't do it. But if you're going to do it, don't do it and be walking around holding hands with them. And I know, listen, I know there's some guys that don't really have a lot of options, right? Listen, and I'm gonna talk about this. A lot of guys, they were like, man, I don't get no play in this. Not me though, not me for sure, not me. But there are some guys, let me spell it, they don't get no play in the states, right? And they go overseas and they meet a woman which they may or may not have paid for. Let's be honest, you're gonna meet women overseas, you're not gonna pay for, right? So back to the story. A man goes overseas, he don't get no play, right? He meets a woman, they have a good time. He's like, man, the 6, 7, or 8 gave me time of day. She treats me like a king. She's submissive. No woman in the States ever dated me. Like I didn't get no attention in the States. I go over here and I'm a king. Oh man, I gotta keep this one. So a lot of some guys, I ain't gonna say a lot, I ain't gonna put it all on y'all, all of y'all. Some guys go overseas and they just take what they can get. But their pride is going to eat them up. Because when you're kissing her in the moment, and in the moment, I know, and when you're kissing her, you be like, oh man, you're emotional. Y'all going through the R. Kelly playlist, the 12 play playlist. Y'all about to do what y'all do. Y'all, and in the moment, you're not thinking, but at some point during that interaction, you're going to think, no pause. At some point during the interaction, you're going to think, you're going to be throwing up. I'll just say, you're going to be throwing up because you know. And a win is a win for her. A lot of these women are physically appealing, physically attractive. They are. I've been the victim. But I am not going to get into it. There's a limit to where I am going to go with. Oh, there's someone I meet, we have a good time, we enjoy each other's company, we laugh, we joke, we hang out, we go places, we do this, we go to the beach, we have a great time. We walk around the mall, might buy a few things, we have a great time. But I know that there will never be a relationship between her and Let me repeat that. I know that there will never be a relationship between her and I know it. But a lot of you are crossing the limit of no return. Right, and I told this story in another video. I'm at the bottom of 808. I'm at that candy bar, whatever it's called. I don't remember. And there's stairs like 10 feet away from me, right? So like I said, I'm over there. I'm just going through this. I'm going over there. I'm looking at people going upstairs. Trying to perfect my moment to when I'm going to go in and get in my VIP section. So I'm looking at people going upstairs. And I see this woman that I know was selling, holding hands with the guy that I'm going to presume was in the military. And I looked at her and I just did one of these, and she looked at me and kind of grinned, and they went on about their business. And I looked at him and I'm like, man, I ain't seen nothing to the guy, but I know that he knew that I know that the woman that I did this with was selling. So he had nothing to say. Listen, if you wife a woman that's selling and the man looks at her and does one of these or grins or smiles, you know why. How can you live with that, guys? How can you? Do better. Do better.